Revenge films.
My mom passed away when I was in high school. My dad turned a blind eye to my sick mother and cheated on her. When Mom died, Dad said to me,
"I'll support you until you graduate from high school, but after that, you're on your own."
Then he left home and I started to live alone. He paid the rent but didn't support me for anything else, and soon I found myself hungry. If I begged my dad for money, he might send a little, but I didn't even want to talk to the man who abandoned my mom and me. I was a senior in high school then. Everybody else was talking about college, but my problem was about daily bread, and I started to work part-time for everyday meals. I lost touch with friends who were studying to go to college. I had to earn money and study at the same time. I was exhausted. I had limited hours to work, and the pay was meager. I was so stressed out that I was devastated. I got tired of all and stopped going to school. I worked part-time, but it wasn't enough to cover my living expenses. I was hungry all the time, hadn't eaten full for a long time, but I had no money. I was having a mental breakdown and reached an impossible idea. I stumbled out into the city and was talking to some guy before I knew it. He looked to be in his 30s. The moment I talked to him, my whole body was so tense and I couldn't continue to talk. If I sold myself, I would have money for food. That's what I thought. But this man in front of me was a stranger, and I suddenly became scared and terrified. He looked at me for a long time, then smiled and said,
"Are you hungry?"
I was paying the bills with my part-time money and lost weight. The man was a stranger, but somehow I felt safe with him, and I just nodded. He said he lived nearby and told me to come along with him. I can't explain how, but I felt at ease with him and followed behind him as he told me. We walked about 10 minutes and there was a big house. The house was lit and I could tell somebody was inside. When he opened the door, a woman came out to greet him. She was young and pretty and I couldn't look her straight in the face.
I was on my way home when she talked to me. I thought if I left her there, some bad guy would take her away, so here we are.
He said exactly what I was going to do. His wife seemed to be surprised, but said, "Let's talk inside," and gently gestured to me. The house was huge and beautiful. I could tell she was cooking, and the smell was killing me. They said, "Let's eat," and served me a meal. I hadn't been full for many days. Then I told them all about my past, all of them. I also told them why I spoke to the man sitting before me. I thought she would be mad at me, and I couldn't face her. I thought they might throw me out now that I told them the truth, but she sighed and held my hands tightly and looked me in the eyes. "You have to protect yourself, or you will regret it one day." But I didn't know what else I could do. Tears started to flow, and I told them how hard and scary it was all this time. I told them everything. They just listened to me without interrupting me once. "You can stay here for a while. We have enough rooms. You can go to school from here." "But I couldn't cause you trouble." When I said this, they looked at each other and laughed. "You were about to throw yourself out to a stranger, but listen to yourself. You're so humble now."
I was vaguely thinking that this might happen while I was walking you here. It's all right. Besides, you're still in high school. It must be hard to live alone. When you have somebody's kindness, it's a child's privilege to take it, so don't worry about it.
"He's right. You can trust us." But I was still feeling bad about their offer, and they started talking about themselves. The couple ran several businesses. They were young, successful entrepreneurs. I was still reluctant to owe them so much, but I knew I was living on the edge. That's why I did what I did. Then I wrote to my dad to briefly tell him that I would move out of the house. I took my belongings and moved into the couple's house. I went back to school while helping in the back office of the wife and store, managing inventory and cleaning there. For the rest of my high school days, The couple were very kind, and I was never hungry again. Anne also made a delicious homemade lunch for me every day. After graduating from high school, I was hired as a full-time employee at Anne's store. After I got this job, I moved to an apartment near them. They were still young and like my parents and siblings. After 3 years or so, Anne opened another store and she gave me the position of store manager as a birthday present. I worked hard because I wanted to repay their kindness. I never thought I would be entrusted with managing a store, and it brought tears to my eyes. Thank you. I won't let you down. Just to be clear, this is not for the connection, but I have seen you work. You've earned my trust yourself. That's what she said. I worked even harder, and a year later, I scored the top sales performance among the other stores and was promoted to the position of district chief manager at the same time. Then one day I got a call from my long-lost dad who heard rumors about me. He abandoned me over his girlfriend. What does he even want from me now? When I answered the phone, he sounded like he called to check on me first, but it didn't take long to reveal the real reason for the call, which was money.
How about dinner? We have lots to talk about. And how about living together? I feel bad about what I did. You were my only daughter. We are still family, and we'd better live together.
I don't know how, but he knew I became the chief manager and was doing well, and asked me for money. Sorry, but you're not my family anymore. I have my family who helped me when I was at rock bottom and starving. They are the coolest people in the world.
What do you mean, your family? You have to explain.
I hung up the phone while he was still talking. Later, I found out that he lived a carefree life with his girlfriend for years and now was broke with huge debt. He left my mom in the hospital bed and left me to fend for myself. Finally, he got what he deserved. I have no sympathy for him and no intention to give him a dime. Although not biological, I have a wonderful, caring family that I can laugh with. Also, they have a baby boy now. I feel like I'm his aunt, and he's so cute. I don't need the man who calls himself my father. I'm going to live my life on my own.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.